Looking for a new case for Christmas? Well, the Thermaltake Ceres 350MX holds 185mm CPU coolers. Very big. This case is fully compatible with the hidden connector motherboards. That includes ASUS BTF series, MSI Project Zero series, as well as Gigabyte Project Stealth series. This case does support eATX, ATX, micro ATX and mini ITX motherboards. This case does support GPUs with a length of limitations up to 340mm, that's with a radiator, and length limitation without the radiator, it is 370mm. Essentially, big GPU. Full tempered glass front panel. But it is interchangeable with a special panel that comes with the case. And that is the front panel. A full perforated front panel that is interchangeable with the tempered glass. And that panel is for a lot of airflow. Also with the case is this interchangeable panel. That panel is for a little LCD monitoring screen that you can buy separately on the Thermaltake website, which you can monitor the weather or system information. Massive front dust filter, which all you do is pull to take it off. This case does come with 3 included CT140 fans, but the front fans are the ARGB versions. And the top panel is full perforated dust filter that is magnetic, and you just pull it off. It also does have a reset button, headphone, microphone jack, also 2 USB 3.0 port with a Type C Gen 2 3.2 port, as well as indicator LEDs and a big power button. The top panel does support a 240 or a 280mm AIO. As for fan support, the top does support 2 140s or 3 120 fans. And there is the other included CT140. That is a basic 4-pin PWM, but does have a pigtail so you can connect more than one fan. You have a full support for a 360mm AIO at the front, or you can have a 2 140 fans or 3 120 fan support at the front. Back panel does have a full dust filter for the power supply. This case does support lengths of the power supply up to 220mm, but of course there isn't actually any drive bays at the bottom, so essentially you could fit something bigger, but Thermaltake rate it for 220mm. The front panel connectors, you do get HD audio, then you get a front panel connector which is actually in a little block, then get USB 3, and then there's the Type C connector. Included accessories does come with some zip ties, a extender for a 4-pin PWM, does come with the screws as well as a little speaker. Now this case does support 2.5-inch drives as well as a 3.5-inch drive right there. That is a full 3.5-inch drive support bracket. Then up here you've got 2 individual slots for 2.5-inch drives. The back of the case does have 7 PCI slots, but this particular one is actually changeable. You can rotate it to the side for a vertical mounted GPU. System specifications: AMD Ryzen 9 5900X with 16 gigs of DDR4 RAM from Kingston. It is an RX 6700 XT, and the CPU cooler that I used is the Noctua NHD15 Gen 2 LBC. This is a noise test for the CT140s in the Thermaltake Ceres 350MX case. I'm going to put the mic up towards the fans and pull away. %, barely heard it. Same thing, but 100% fan speed. Oh, they're quite loud at 100%. Okay, so when it comes to the overall benchmarking or the thermal testing, now what I've done is I've done two different types of tests, and I've done one with the front glass and then the other with the perforated front panel. So for the front glass, which is tempered glass, this was at 100% fan speed. The CINEBENCH R23 run for the CPU was run for 30 minutes, and the idles were 25 with a max of 84 Celsius. Now for the GPU, I did use FURMARK 2. That was also for another 30-minute run. That's good to get the thermals up as well. So for GPU temp, idles 24 with a max of 50. GPU hotspot, idle 26 with a max of 76, and GPU junction temp, that's the one you have to check, keep in check with AMD cards specifically. Idles 46 with a max of 60. Now, perforated front panel installed. The CINEBENCH R23, idle 26 with a max of 80. That's a significant drop by 4 Celsius. FURMARK 2, GPU temp 25 with a max of 51, and GPU hotspot idle 27 with a max of 74, and GPU junction temp idle 47 with a max of 62 Celsius. Okay then, so a case with multiple color options, which is absolutely sane for its price point. It is just over £100, which, considering that it comes with Snow White, black, it does come with Bubblegum Pink, Bumblebee Yellow, it does come with Hydra Blue, it does come with Matcha Green, as well as Racing Car Green. Now, that I personally would have preferred the Bumblebee Yellow, but that's because I am a big Transformers fan. I have been since I was a kid. So the Bumblebee Yellow would have looked much better personally, but that's just my little nitpick, yes. Now, the fans, very loud, but they're very good quality fans. So there is obviously going to be, you know, there's a downside, but there's also an upside. They're very good quality fans, but they are loud at 100%. 50%, they are hardly even noticeable. And I will say these fans do push a lot of air, so, which obviously you did see in the benchmark. A 4-degree drop on CPU is quite a lot when it comes to temps. If it was 2 degrees or 1 degree, that could be a margin of error. But 4 Celsius drop just by changing the front panel from the tempered glass to the perforated panel, that is a significant improvement on thermals. GPU sat there, didn't care. Either test. So, you know, that's just one of them things. The GPU really is not really that much affected, but I will say these fans do push a lot of air. This 7600 XT isn't exactly the most power hungry card, but even though it still didn't care. So I like this case. I really think the overall options are very good. You do obviously get the perforated panel as well as that little panel shroud that you can change by here. That is essentially just for the LCD display that Thermaltake sells separately, which obviously you can do like data and all that type of stuff on it, which is very good. That's handy, especially, and for it to be integrated with a little panel you can just change with 2 screws, that's very, very good as well. But this case is airflow crazy. It's got absolute perforations everywhere, as you probably saw through the walkthrough of the overall specs. Now, this case is all airflow focused, which that is one of the best things about it, I'd say. And overall, I think it's a very good case. Big thank you to Thermaltake for sending out for review. And as always, I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend and week ahead of you. If you guys want to buy it, I will leave a link down below. Don't forget to subscribe. And this is Richard from WELSHYTECH. Goodbye.